Keir Starmer has emerged as one of the most polarizing figures in the UK, drawing sharp criticism from both supporters and opponents across the political spectrum. While public missteps, such as awkward interview moments, contradictory policy statements, and faltering speeches, have often been his undoing, his latest humiliation has come from forces beyond his control. A large-scale protest involving tens of thousands of demonstrators has triggered a wave of backlash directed squarely at Starmer's leadership. This protest, which took aim at what participants describe as draconian policies and political betrayal, reflects a growing sense of frustration with the Prime Minister's approach. Many protesters accuse Starmer of failing to connect with public sentiment, branding his leadership as out of touch and overly cautious. Critics across the political spectrum, from progressives disappointed by his pivot to centrist policies to conservatives skeptical of his competence, have seized upon his perceived mishandling of the situation, further amplifying public outrage. In this video, we'll unpack the key moments from the protest, analyze why Starmer's response, or lack thereof, has become a flashpoint of controversy, and explore what this means for his political future. We'll also cover other major developments shaping the national conversation. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our fast-growing community. Your voice is essential in driving the discussion forward. Over the weekend, an estimated 100,000 British patriots converged on Downing Street in a massive show of opposition to what they describe as the tyrannical policies of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour government. The demonstrators, united by a shared sense of frustration, marched peacefully through the streets of London, waving national flags, singing patriotic songs, and holding signs demanding a government more attuned to the people's concerns. Their message was clear. They reject what they see as an overreaching government that dismisses dissent and stifles free speech. The protest was marked by chants celebrating British identity and firm opposition to Starmer's leadership, underscoring a deep divide between the public and the political establishment. Critics have accused Starmer of labelling concerned citizens as far-right hooligans in an attempt to delegitimize their grievances and paint them as extremists. Some protesters suggested that the Prime Minister may have even hoped for unrest at the rally to justify his narrative. However, the demonstration remained entirely peaceful, contradicting any expectations of disorder. Participants emphasized that their presence was not about inciting violence, but about standing up for values they feel are being undermined by the government, including free speech, national sovereignty, and responsible immigration policies. The sheer size and tone of the protest highlighted a growing disconnect between the Labour government and the public, with many attendees expressing frustration over what they perceive as a government increasingly detached from the everyday struggles of ordinary citizens. As public dissatisfaction with Starmer continues to mount, the event sends a strong signal that many believe Labour is out of touch with the nation's priorities. With pressure building ahead of Wednesday's Prime Minister's questions, PMQs, all eyes are on Starmer to see if he will address the concerns raised by the protesters or continue to dismiss their movement as fringe dissent. At the protest, organisers screened films that directly challenged the government's narrative of the recent summer riots, presenting an alternative perspective that accused the leadership of manipulating public perception. Protesters argued that these films exposed what they believed to be Labour leader Keir Starmer's agenda of misinformation, aimed at controlling the narrative and suppressing dissent. The message struck a chord well beyond British borders, as reactions from across the globe poured in, drawing attention to the growing scrutiny of Starmer's leadership on the international stage. Commentators and activists from various countries weighed in, expressing solidarity with the protesters and voicing concerns about what many now see as a shift toward authoritarianism within the UK government. These developments, according to some, reflect a broader awakening within the country, with citizens increasingly questioning the limits of government power and accountability. The international response has amplified the debate, with some observers likening the situation to other global movements resisting political overreach, further intensifying the pressure on Starmer and his administration. As protests continue to grow, both domestically and abroad, the focus remains on whether the government will address these concerns or tighten its grip in response to mounting criticism. Tensions have escalated in political and economic circles following provocative comments from Dale Vince, eco-activist and prominent Labour donor, who took aim at wealthy residents threatening to leave the UK over rumoured tax increases in the forthcoming autumn budget. Vince, who contributed £5 million to Labour's 2024 general election campaign, dismissed concerns about higher taxes. If people only live here because they pay less tax, they should fuss off, he said, defending the need for a fairer tax system and labelling those seeking lower taxes abroad as unpatriotic. Fears of a £35 billion tax raid under Chancellor Rachel Reeves have prompted backlash from affluent individuals, with many high earners announcing plans to relocate. Among them is Pimlico Plumbers founder Charlie Mullins, who recently listed his £1 million penthouse for sale, citing the potential for an exodus of entrepreneurs and a brain drain if tax burdens increase. Vince's remarks, however, have drawn mixed reactions. Known for funding Just Stop Oil, a controversial environmental group, Vince defended both the protests and the broader goal of decarbonisation, arguing that sustainable reforms are essential for the national economy. Decarbonisation is not just about the planet, it's about building long-term resilience for our economy, he asserted. While some Labour donors, like Lord Sainsbury, have stayed silent on the issue, Vince's outspoken comments have become the centre of attention, further fueling debates over tax policy and economic strategy ahead of the budget announcement. Critics warn that Reeves's budget could drive away top talent, while supporters of Vince's stance argue that progressive taxation is essential to addressing inequality and funding public services. In the new ITV documentary, Prince William, We Can End Homelessness, the Prince of Wales shares his deep commitment to addressing homelessness. Drawing inspiration from childhood visits to shelters with his late mother, Princess Diana, William reflected on his personal connection to the issue and admitted to feeling guilty for not having done more to help sooner. Determined to take meaningful action, he stated, "I don't want to just talk about it. I feel compelled to act." The two-part series follows the first year of the Homewards Initiative, which seeks to prevent homelessness in specific regions, serving as a model for national implementation. In a rare reference to his brother, Prince Harry, William reminisced about a visit to a homeless shelter with Diana in 1993. "She took Harry and me to the passage when I was about 11. I remember thinking, if these people don't have homes, they must be really sad. But it was incredible how happy the environment was." William emphasized his intention to carry on Diana's legacy by discussing homelessness with his own children, hoping to instill awareness and empathy from an early age. What are your thoughts on these unfolding developments? Will Keir Starmer confront the backlash from the recent protest, or will he maintain his silence, risking further criticism from both within and outside his party? The pressure is mounting on Labour, not just over Starmer's leadership, but also regarding their proposed tax policies, which have sparked fears of a potential exodus of wealth from the UK business leaders, and high net worth individuals have warned that increased taxes could discourage investment and drive capital out of the country, raising concerns about the long-term economic impact. Meanwhile, Prince William's ambitious campaign to address homelessness has drawn widespread attention. His hands-on approach and high-profile initiatives aim to shift the conversation from short-term solutions to sustainable change. However, questions remain about the effectiveness of royal advocacy in tackling such a deeply rooted issue. Do you think Prince William's efforts will inspire meaningful reform, or are they more symbolic than practical? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Will Starmer break his silence at PMQs? Could Labour's tax plans backfire? And do you think Prince William's homelessness campaign will deliver real impact? Join the conversation in the comments below. Thank you for supporting our channel. We're thrilled to be closing in on 100,000 subscribers, and your engagement is crucial to helping us continue bringing you important stories often missed by the mainstream media. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe for more updates on British politics and society. Stay informed, stay involved, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.